So my honors biology classes have been doing water quality testing. We have 2 locations, so my second period class has been going to the pond in like the wetlands area across from McDonald's, and my 5th period honors has been going to the creek over by the bottom of the Orr Park. And they've been testing the water and looking at a variety of different tests they've done, including catching macroinvertebrates and looking at how tolerant they are for different types of pollution and different like water quality levels, and using that as like a baseline. And then also they've done some tests with phosphate and nitrate levels, looking at the amount of dissolved oxygen in the water, looking at the pH and things like that. I think it's just a nice way to get kids, especially in the springtime when it's nice out, we get to go outside and do a little bit more hands-on field work instead of just sitting in a classroom learning with pencil and paper or watching videos. And so I think the kids usually like it a lot and learn a lot from it, hopefully.
Here we found a turtle about this big, and then we saw another one that was a little smaller. And then we found a lot of tadpoles and I think like 1 or 2 frogs. And then
the water lilies were really nice. They were pretty when they bloomed.
And we found a bunch of like little macroinvertebrate bugs. We found a bunch of water mites. I don't know what other groups found, but that's what I did.
Frog.
Put that down. Put that down.
Now kiss.
It's all right.
Now kiss it.
Should I kiss it?
Of course.
So I love that I fell into this place right here. I met all the tadpoles first person. We caught a lot of insects. Yeah.
So for mythology class every year, at the end of the semester, we do a story called the Aeneid, which is a story of Aeneas, who escapes from the Trojan War, and then his ancestors are eventually going to, or his offspring are eventually going to go ahead and found Rome. So the kids, there's 3 parts to it. Each of the kids in my mythology class read a part. They get like groups of 5 or 6 in each group, and then they do a retelling in their own way. So they can sometimes do little videos. So sometimes they do, paper figures on like popsicle sticks. Sometimes they do actual live action, but they retell the story in a different way. So after they do the reading and they do the research, then they retell the story. So that's what we do in mythology.
So basically, we just put together the video. We got assigned like a part, and then we got to like put our own spin on it and like make it really creative and make it our own and to make it funny. And it was a good project overall.
Yeah, I enjoyed making our mythology videos. I thought it taught me a lot about the different stories, and I liked acting in all the different everybody's videos, so I had a lot of fun.
After the Trojan War, Aeneas, a Trojan, and his group were lost. He was told in a dream to go to Sicily. Aeneas talks to Helenus, a blind prophet, about his long journey. He was provided with many warnings about Scylla and Charybdis.
So we attended Wayne Lanes on May 13th with the pre-college math class to get some stats and get some information for their final project. The goal was to bowl and get numbers. We looked at measures of dispersion, so that's like mean, standard deviation, variance, stuff like that. And we'll see how their final projects do. They're due today, so yeah, good luck to those finishing the project.
It was a fun field trip to wrap up the end of the year with bowling and stealing people's food. It was a good way to end math.
It was a really fun time, and we were really fortunate to do such a really fun field trip towards the end.
So I went on the math bowling trip with Mrs. Pruitt in her class. It was really fun. We went to, was it Wayne Lanes, right? Wayne Lanes, and I played against Parker and Avery. They both suck at bowling. I think I scored like I don't know. I don't even know what's good at bowling or not, but like a 200, I think. And they like got like 30 something. So yeah, I mean, I had fun because I won, so.
MAPS Museum stands for Military Aviation Preservation Society, and we go there to learn some of the standards that we've already learned this year in American history, including things about D-Day and Pearl Harbor and women in the military, including Rosie the Riveters, who helped here at home.
The trip was very nice.
I love getting into the helicopter. They had a plane, the C-137 that they brought in. Told a story of how they got it in there and had to move the fence and lift it up because it was too big. They had a ton of information on the other things like the wasps, the Tuskegee Airmen, all that stuff. We did walk past some stuff though that I'd like to see, like the nuclear weapons they had that were disarmed. The people were amazing, the guides. They had stories from, a lot of them were in Vietnam.
So the trip to MAPS was very fun. I liked it a lot. Our guide was amazing. He showed us like the Tuskegee Airmen and the wasps and what the woman did when they were, when the men were out on war. He also showed us a lot of planes that we went into. Like he showed us some helicopters used in Vietnam, like the Scouting helicopter, and also the Cobra, which was really cool. And he also put us in this carrier airplane used to go to Normandy in World War II, where we got to go in, and that like genuinely scared me. So it was really fun though.
The MAPS trip was really amazing. I really enjoyed our time spent there. Our tour guide was really amazing. She was very informal and very inspirational too. She showed us a bunch of planes and how they all worked and like what all the letters would stand for, like C for cargo and F for fighter jets and all that. It was very informal, and when we got to sit in the big cargo plane that they used for Normandy for D-Day, it was very, very interesting. I enjoyed that experience. It scared me, but it was very informative, and I loved our time there. Even though I wish we had more time to spend there, I overall enjoyed our trip to MAPS. So.
Well, we needed a manufacturing materials and processes project, and I wanted to be real life how things work progressively in a factory. And I also wanted to do a service project based on needs of community. So about 30 years ago, came up with this Toys for Tots project with the Wayne County Toys for Tots Foundation, and it's worked wonderfully ever since. Currently is our engineering capstone project for the engineering trades at the Career Center, and that is because in our junior year we learn how to use the software and CAD and engineering fundamentals and so forth. So if we don't have that, we can't design and build with the machines the different parts and put them together with our 3D printers, our lasers, and our mills and so forth. So somebody walking off the street can't just do something like this without having the knowledge of all those intricacies and processes and sequences to be able to build something like this and design it.